Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hey, everybody. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntext Live. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope the reruns actually set you guys up for success, and we will be going over theirs in a second. But right now, I got to pop a top myself. Make sure I got something so I don't run my throat dry as I sit here amongst all this bevy of blue beauties behind me, even though that picture I just realized is very, very fuzzy. At least the ladies aren't, which means better access. Anyways, and oh, wait, forgot that button. Sometimes I forget which buttons to push. Anyway, first things first, thank you everybody for being here. And thanks for everybody for actually going through the videos over the past week, which we're going to dive into right now. And the first one I'm going to go over is Angels. Actually, it was supposed to be, this was the original title here, Angel Flight. And if you guys have not actually heard the song Angel Flight, if you play it around a veteran, they're going to get very, very somber very, very quickly. Which, as you can read on there, it says, "Come on, brother, you're with me tonight." That's actually straight from the song. It's very deep, which also is why I recommended it to a certain corpsman that we have. And unfortunately, it didn't go over as well as I was hoping for. I know it's kind of a rerun, but it is one of my more popular videos, and I thought people would like to hear it all the way straight through. A few people said they did, so hey, why not? And there wasn't too much on that, so I'm going to go right into the flying bricks. And hopefully it wasn't a brick to the head. Although I swear, during the last, half of it, the last two parts, I swear, everyone's saying, "Gotcha, bitch!" Because, let's face it, when you're dealing with humans, it's a trap all the time. Somebody liked the Halo reference, of course, and originally this story was going to be extended on, and then when I got through the whole thing, I realized that it ended just, I don't know how I could do better on that one. I could extend it, but I figured, let any brick by brick, i.e. the flying bricks, was probably the best place to leave it. If you guys want more, I'll give you more. But as for now, that one's not going to go any further. So I want to let you guys know, unfortunately, I will not be able to drop anything tonight. However, 1, here's the thumbnail. 2, it's fucking written. I just haven't had time to do the audio. I've been running around. I had to go halfway across the damn state today. So, yeah, I just didn't have the time. I apologize for that. You have my sincerest apologies, guys. You know I don't like to leave you out there. And right now, who do I see? I see a Norman! Giving us a $20 super chat. Oh, sorry, sticker. Or no, super. It's just a super. He didn't send anything else. And it is from Steve Uwig. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. And don't worry, you'll be getting your shout out this week, all week. You know you will. Only one person who still has some weeks in the tank, and that's Prozac and Pancakes. He still has 7 weeks in the tank. And holy crap, who is it, Erica? How do you pronounce your name again? Yes, that's how you pronounce it. Gem, Erica Gem is here. She says, "Good evening. Thank you for the amazing stories." Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for the super, and thank you for the comments and everything else that you guys send that helps me do things right. And make sure you guys let me know where I fuck up. Please, 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 please let me know where I mess up. Because if I don't know where I messed up, I don't know what to fix. It's the whole thing, like they say, if you brought in a plane from, say, World War II, and the plane that landed, the wings shot up, the tail shot up, and all that other stuff, that's not the one that was shot down. It's actually backwards. You need to armor the sections that didn't get shot up. And that's the ones that actually take down pilots. So again, you guys got to let me know where I mess up because sometimes I just don't see it. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the next one coming. And as I say that, swing! I got to make sure I hit the button. And unfortunately, like I said, I wasn't able to get things done because if you look on the screen, this is the shit I was doing. If you can barely see that, that is my setup, my current setup. We're actually upgrading this year, hopefully. And that's for boiling sap. Guys, I spent like 6 hours doing sap. We got like 2.5 gallons of maple syrup waiting to be racked in the kitchen right now. It's got to settle so we can get the dregs out the bottom. So yes, that is one of the reasons why it's taken me a while this time of year. But I'm sure you guys aren't here to talk about maple syrup. You're not here to talk about anything else. You're here to talk about everything that's going on. As far as flying bricks was concerned. Oh, wait, I already did that one. When it comes to my ship. And, somebody's accusing me of... For the Emperor! Sorry, I thought that one was the heresy button. Anyways, we have the MTF guard here with a $10 super chat. And he says, thank God the winter weather is almost over. Got literally an inch of snow overnight after thunderstorms and tornado warnings for a day and a half. Love Kentucky. God damn, I hate this weather. Well, the thing is, we need a certain type of weather to actually make this sap. It has to be cold at night, as in below freezing at night, and above freezing during the day. So, and it's just been a weird spring. Straight up, just weird spring. I mean, and last year was just about as bad. We were tapping maple trees January 1st. The season was over so quick, but then we had a cold snap and it fucked up all the fruit trees. Yes, we actually make our own stuff around here. Even though I am in the northeast part of the United States. It is what it is. So, as far as my ship, somebody like the Andromeda type of, or Andromeda Ascendant, the video game. I don't know if you guys played that or not, but they had the female android be put together and she kind of gained sentience as she was being assembled. And it's actually a big mind twister. I mean, it does a great job. My hat's off to the guys who put that together because it does reach up, grab you by the short hairs and pull real hard right by the end. So, thank you again, Guard, Erica, and Steve, as I keep going. Yes, you guys are right. There is an upgrade coming, which was the payment that was talked about in previous chapters. I can't say too much more. A few other folks like to put in on Damn the Torpedoes. And, well, yeah, I wanted to change the way a lot of these space battles go because a lot of the ones we get are pretty common where you get all the sides put together. I want to limit it inside the Citadel Bridge where all you hear is the fire commands, who's being hit, directions, and all this other stuff going off. The only thing you don't have is somebody echoing the same thing. There is no XO on this ship. There's literally the captain and his command crew, and that's it. So there's no repeating. However, you guys got to let me know if that's something you want more of, or would you like to have more of the exterior type of description going on? You guys got to let me know what you want because I can't read your minds. I'm empathic, not telepathic, which, by the way, regardless, is a giant pain in the, if I can click on this damn thing, ass, okay? And being empathic actually snagged me just the other day because I've been talking for about 2 weeks, I shit you not, about if I won the lotto, I would actually start a company that says just whatever the hell it is, just appliances, just cars, or like just a sedan. This is all you get. You want extras, go to somebody else and put in, but just what it is. And then I see this clip from the Chubby Sparky talking to that reservist cop and they brought up the same fucking thing from another friend of theirs, and I'm just like, motherfucker. Oh. So I am not the first one to come up with that idea. So I'm just like, you know, I see that and I'm just saying, what the hell, man? What the fucking fucks is going on? So yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to go too much into the videos, guys, because my ship is still going and the other ones were reruns, basically. Just remember, if you guys see where it says complete series, you've probably seen it or heard it before. I'm just condensing. The one series, like I said, is not going to be on there, is the one that's also kind of like Angels, but this is more a 40K thing. And it's actually 3 battle sisters who crash into a nebula or one of the planets on the nebula, and they're fucked up. 2 of them are in a coma. And yeah, I know I'm kind of doing a spoiler alert, but I screwed this story up so well, but I know how to fix it. Thank you guys. Some of you have actually sent me a heads up. Oh, Steve's leaving? Oh, man. That's quick. Later, Steve. Anyways, I found out how to fix it, guys. Thanks to you guys, I found out how to fix it. Instead of the battle sisters, and I had to write this down, the Repentia, I think that's how it is, with a excavator, eviscerator, or something like that was the name of their sword. Have them crash with their handler. Their handler's out, and the Repentia start coming to. However, keeping with the same story, I would simply have all their implants, that sonic whip friggin' implant, removed. So when the handler actually does finally come to, she tries to whack them with that, and everyone kind of like flinches out of reaction, but they're like, wait a minute, that didn't hurt. And then have all the parts dropped at her feet, like, yeah, we pulled these out. Wasn't doing them any good. However, again, if I changed it, it would have a similar setup where people keep coming out of the medical stuff, because anybody who's left alone, the medical will get better, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And eventually the last one would be their handler, what I didn't write it down, the one with the whip that, you know, cracks them into place. Yeah, a woman with a whip who's a dominatrix. Shocker. Want to smell it? Anyway, the whole idea is at the end, you would have, just like before, they would have the option to go back. Now, the kicker is, as long as the Repentia say they are doing everything for the Emperor the entire time, they go back with a message and it's delivered, hey, don't believe your commissar or anybody like that. Go straight to the Emperor, say this is what happened. The Emperor will pass judgment, not anyone else. If anybody talks for him, you might as well kill them bastard right there, because somebody's trying to freaking stick one finger up each area. Ain't worth it. No. So, and leave them with that message, just a straight, hey, they fought everything for you. They've actually repented. They had the chance to leave, but they didn't. They stay with you, this, that, and the other. And then do basically a post-credit scene where it would say whether or not they actually went back, and if they found people or they just found another message that said, sorry, we had to leave, whatever it might be. So I finally figured out how to fix it. I'm not going to do it. That's why I'm talking on here. However, that's how I would fix it. So I'm going to switch over here. Now, I only got one more video from Guard this week. I haven't even checked it yet. Like I said, I ran out of time. I actually finished part 18 here of my ship maybe 30 minutes ago, if that, and I had to get ready for the stream. But without further ado, let's watch something blow up. I would have to find a good phrase to go in there. And I like using the, oh, you did not shoot that green shit. I've overused it. I have. So anyway, Going into, I wanted to do a whole thing on movies, but there's not a whole lot to talk about that you guys haven't friggin' gone into so much. So I'm going to stick with TV. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen, there is a breakout hit. Paramount creates it called Landman. Honestly, I think the premise is kind of goofy, but the acting is awesome. I can't give those guys enough props. They did you got Billy Bob Thornton as the main guy, and they got a very good cast to play everyone else. That being said, there is actually one, I'm sure we've all seen it because on Joe Rogan, the scene talking about how wind energy is alternative energy and it's not going to replace fuel, which he's correct. But the one part I have problem with is the fact that he said you're not going to find the replacement before we run out. That's a line of bullshit. And again, I'm sitting there going, what you talking about? Because we already found it. You go to Italy. I've already given you guys before. I'll look it back up through my notes if you want. The folks who do the 0 point generator. It's something you can buy right now. They just have to make it bigger. So yeah. However, storyline wise, especially for you guys who are trying to actually create your own story, when you watch it, especially now, they're self-aware enough to know they've done too much. They've got to settle a few things because too many things are happening. They have an entire thing. And I was just talking to my brother. He's like, watch this scene. So I looked it up. And sure enough, the guy calls his lawyer. He's like, yeah, we have an incident here on this road. No, on the other road. No, on the other road. Another incident. No, with a truck. No, not that truck. The other incident. This one's this truck. And it's like so much crap is going on that they're finally like, whoa, okay, maybe we should, pump the brakes a little bit. And that's one of the key things when you're writing a story. Don't put too much in at the same time. Too much usually means that the series is going to end, and it's going to end very fast and very brutally. So unless you want some emotional damage, be careful when you're writing that sort of thing. Be very, very careful. All right, on to, oh, no, wait, it was on another page. Hold on. For you guys who watch this, now I am not a fan of One Piece. I was never got into it for a myriad of reasons. However, apparently they did the One Piece live action correctly. I haven't seen it. I'm going by the reviewers. However, every reviewer says the same thing. Hollywood's confused. They're like, how could this work? How could this possibly work? Well, I'll tell you how it fucking worked. It worked because it's what people want, you dumbasses. It's just, it hurts my brain that these people are so self-absorbed that they don't fucking get it. Okay. I remember distinctly, my brother's wife has a friend who worked in Hollywood. So I was like, mind if I pick your brain a little bit? He's like, okay. I said, look, I like to write. Where can I send stuff to be submitted? Because I've tried to work with Penguin Publishing. I've tried to work with Dark Horse. I've tried to work with all these other ones. And everyone just tells me to go fuck myself. So is there a group I got to get a hold of or what like this? And he starts saying, yeah, sort of. And then I can see it in his eyes when I ask him, hey, can I get their contact information? He's got this look like, fuck you. And I'm just going, what in the ever-loving snot rockets, man? It's just, I just want to try my hand at this. I don't want to sit there and try to do like 10,000 freaking things. What the hell? Give a man a chance. And that's what I found out. At the reason the folks in Hollywood are confused is because of that bubble. They're so stuck in their own echo chamber, they can't understand anything else. They can't understand normal thinking, which makes them, if you get it, you get it. And it just, I really wish I had downloaded. Where's the, I'm going to look up the image file real quick in the funnies here. And, where is it? Down here. It's down here. Well, that'll take a second. But that's why things are so screwed up in there, because the producers are taking their direction from not from the directors, but from the CEOs. The CEOs don't give a shit. They're getting money from other places like Blackstone and BlackRock. And those guys are, since they're paying the bills, they're saying, no, we want more movies this way. And since the folks in that area are kind of, shall we say, lighting the loafers, what am I talking about? Well, I'm not going to go any further. That's what they want to push. They want to push that really, really hard. And it's just, I'm sitting there just, and that's why we can't get anything good. And every time you do get a breakout hit like this, they're confused. They're like, this is nothing like we want. The characters aren't, all this, SJW stuff. It's just because, guess what? Nobody wanted that in the first place. And, Guardian, I forgot to put in, I shouldn't say forgot. I haven't had time. I wanted to put in the Yoda, but I can see that you sent a super. So I'm going to say, you know what? I know you don't trust me.
Hicks doesn't trust me right now.
Really? Why not?
Because I got to use a sniper rifle and I ended up unloading a round into her ass.
Hey, chicka bump bump.
Caboose, what did I tell you about that?
Sorry.
Anyways, we got a $10 super chat from Guardian Sage. And he says, I know that you don't like much of doing stories in established universes. Hold on. He said the magic word. But would you consider doing a story in the Trek universe set shortly after the Earth-Romulan War? I would have to do a lot of research on that before I did. Let me write this down as far as requests go. Post Earth Romulan War. Again, I'm not that deep into Trek. I never truly was. The only one I actually enjoyed was Next Generation, maybe because I was just of that age. Maybe because the acting was so much better than now. Maybe because, I don't know, they weren't trying to push a fucking agenda. Maybe because, I don't know, the captain wasn't a complete and total asshole, douchebag, piece of shit who sounded like he was standing on a stage somewhere every single time you see him on there. I'm just like, what the... With almost every sci-fi show, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the captain is usually the weakest character there. I stand by that. I know I have series that I absolutely love that I think the captain is the worst character there. The worst actor, the worst written, just total dog shit. And hell, I keep saying Babylon 5, one of my favorite series. The captain, both of them, one was drier than a dog turd in the sun for 10 days, and the other one kept pausing to make things more dramatic. And I'm just like, dude, just get on with the fucking line. Anyway, or I should say, but I'm going to digress here. All right. On to the next one here. Apparently, you guys know Firefly from the guy, I forget his name. He was in Halo ODST and Castle, but he's always played a sub-character even when he's the main character. And when I saw this, I couldn't help but laugh, guys. They're trying to make a animated Firefly series. That has been done already. It's called Outlaw Star. Firefly is almost a direct ripoff of Outlaw Star. So if they're going to make an animated version of Firefly, if they're not going to make it like almost photorealistic, then go watch Outlaw Star and be done. They did everything exactly the same, to include finding the woman curled up in the fetal position inside some sort of stasis pod. It just, it's the same. The only thing they're missing was the main character having what's known as the galaxy gun, something that is unbelievably powerful, but unbelievably difficult to get ammo for. So when he uses it, it's a big deal because chances are he might not get a replacement. That's what made the weapon so nice. That'd be like going back in time to the Middle Ages and you only have, 30 rounds in your magazine. You're going to be very, very conservative with your ammo at that point. You're not just going to start blasting. So anyway, let's see. Where was I? Here was it. Okay. Into the, well, you know what? We'll do a video before I jump in here. How about say this one?
Short, adjust up. Tracks up and running. 11 o'clock.
I still say I got to do a voiceover on that saying, mind if I drop in? And right before he goes, kaplowy. And puts one right in the person's face, right, put that HE right across the face. Spray it right there. I don't know how to keep going with this, but it's pretty damn dirty. All right. On to the video games. And this one, we all knew what was going to happen. 1348 X Vito. This is the one where the apparently hero of it is a 70-pound female with a bob cut haircut who is swinging a dual-handed broadsword one-handed. And it is so bad that it is flopping. They can't even believe the numbers. It is that bad. And here's the thing. And this is what everybody was saying. And I thought it was funny. I should have wrote down. It's right here. The reviewer who said this. Modern audiences don't buy video games. I'm going to say that one again because it seems mildly important. Modern audiences don't buy video games. And by modern audiences, I mean modern audiences and all that other fun shit. So, yeah. But what's really pissing people off is the fact that it comes out that video game may be taxpayer funded. Again, I'm going to say it because this is bullshit. A video game is taxpayer funded. I only know of 2, and they're not in circulation anymore. They are strictly used inside military facilities. It is there to help groups that are kind of struggling. And what the fuck was that? Oh, yeah, that's the SSD with a $10 super chat. And he says, Wednesday, April 8th, I should be fully at a live stream. I'm off work that day because my brother is getting a minor surgery and I'm his ride. Oh, fuck bubbles. So I'm looking forward to being there. Maybe I can even call in. Okay, cool. That should be, let me check the calendar. 8th. I can push it back to the 8th. Usually it's the first one of the month. So yeah, I'll push, remind me next week, guys, to push it back to the 8th. And let me get this down here with Demon. And we'll do the call-in then. Like I said, I'm only doing call-ins once a month, guys, because honestly, I don't have as much content as I'd like to because we're not doing politicals. Believe me, we could get political. We'll talk science and science fiction here a little bit. However, and like it said, or says in the corner of the thumbnail, it's only fiction for so long. Or is it still science fiction? It's this shit is just crazy that they put it in video games and a whole bunch of other stuff to tell us what they're going to do. So anyway, let me back up. Beep, beep, beep. Thanks again, Demon, by the way. And here's the fun one about this 1348 ex voto. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. Apparently, to try and get people to purchase it, there is a main character redesign that's supposed to be DLC. The character redesign is a tall, somewhat muscular, attractive woman. Guess who's freaking the fuck out? Well, it ain't the guys that played the game. No, they wouldn't mind if she's like 6'6", 6'7", just, you know, full on. I don't have a picture here of like maybe I don't have a muscle mommy on standby here. But seriously, if they had one, I mean, that would at least make sense. A full on freaking Amazon, but actually one that still keeps her feminine qualities. You know, what's her name from the Mundane Alorian? She might have been a fighter, but you could still tell she was a woman. You know, so some of these video game ones like they had in The Worst of Us 2 was just, I'm sitting there like literally going, is that supposed to be a woman? And then they showed the Schnook scene and I'm just like, ew, okay, no, something's wrong here. Something's very wrong. And it's just, no, it was a shit design. It was absolute shit design. But if they made it a more attractive character, yeah, more people would be tempted to buy it. Duh. And for right now, I'm looking at these guys and saying,
congratulations, you played yourself.
Because they absolutely did. And it's every time these people do something, it's...
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
All right, here's another one. And I wrote this down. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. This is supposed to come out for the past like 2 or 3 years. And they took the actual CGI design off an actual woman, but then they buzzed her hair to the point where I'm like, that's an Asian dude. And again, everyone's like, why would you do that? Now, if they did like they did during the Aliens movie and just told everybody, look, the set was covered in lice. They had to cut their hair. Everybody literally had to, man and woman, scape themselves clean or else they're going to be completely covered in lice and they have to freaking go through like cleansing showers after every single day. Okay, fine. Nobody complained at the time. But what in the flying fuckle knuckles do you need a CGI character to look like that for? It doesn't make sense. Now, a lot of people are like, well, the plot leaked out. Oh, the plot, that's just a leak. That's a line of BS. It couldn't possibly be that bad. Yep, turns out the plot leak was 100% correct, and now all the pre-orders are drying up faster than, well, my last girlfriend. And it's just crazy. It's just absolutely fucking nuts. On the positive note, and again, sometimes I can't read my own writing. Crusader Descent or something like that. It looks promising. The modern audiences are freaking the fuck out. So, you know, it might have some promising things there. But as long as it's not made for
modern audiences,
we should be fine. And hopefully, now that I have the parts, I should be able to upgrade this soundboard. If I can get the female voices and the other voices on this, guys, expect the, again, this stuff to be a whole lot better. And yes, I know you can't see it. Hell, I might even read some of this later, right on here. So, but War Sniper, I see your last one. Not as long as people think. It really depends on when they crack the top on that tech tree. It really does. So I'm going to just choose a random video here. I only have a few of them, so I don't know which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are indifferent. So how about this one?
The reactor's almost critical. Hold your ground.
I swear, this thing is just driving me absolute crazy. Every time I try to do something while those are playing, it just won't do it. Where the hell was I was trying to get something else on here. There it is. All right. Let me go back to the comments section. I'm going to scroll up here for a little bit. Now, I saw you guys were talking beforehand about, what the hell was it? So let me scroll all the way to the top here. What the hell was it? No, not Massachusetts. What was it? Crap. Oh yeah, about lineage. You guys are talking lineage here. There was one thing, it kind of caught my attention, and I believe it was War Sniper. There it is. War Sniper saying, I don't know what my family background is. Now, are you talking background or lineage? Because those are two very different things. The background is not your actual lineage. Background is the social structure you come from. If you're talking lineage, that's your actual bloodline. So just keep that in mind. It's one of those things, guys, where I keep having to tell the younger guys and girls, hey, you need to use the right type of verbiage because you're going to confuse the shit out of people. And let me go here right under guards thing. Says that blonde wizard is very good. Hold on. Sorry, something just came up. God. Oh. But I like that butt. Okay. Erica said, yeah, I'm glad maple syrup is going better. Yeah. So far, we've only got 21 pints. That's not enough for a year. At minimum, we need like 30. Just for this household, and my family likes to come and get some. My sister likes it in her coffee, so we're going to need at least at bare minimum 50 to make it through till next year. For as not to mention, let's face it, my nieces and nephews, they like real maple syrup. It's a whole lot better than that corn syrup shit people keep eating. Let's see, where was it? That's her, the girl with the nice rack. Actually, you notice they all do, you know. And that was War Sniper saying that they got some nice ones here. Spider Girl got some fucking cake. You mean this one? That's not Spider Girl. That's just a random picture. I literally just stumbled across that today. And I was like, yep, I'm going to throw that one in the mix. Now, the thing is, I don't mind the whole Spider-Gwen. I think the character is okay. Some of the things they do just don't make sense, though. They just, I tried to read it, and every time I do, something just like comes out of the blue, and I'm like, either something happened in a previous iteration, or some producer walked in and said, hey, put this in there. Why? It doesn't fit. I don't care. Put it in there, which happens a lot, by the way. Guards here saying, yes, the AMX-50 Foch, a heavy armored tank destroyer with a 20mm autocannon, which, if you don't know, is basically a chain-fed, very large gun. Why did the French think it was a good idea? No clue, but it's one of the only few things that I can thank them for. And now, a movie you can talk about, Hopper. Oh, yeah, the one where it's Avatar. It's Avatar. I talked about that last week and how just unbelievably stupid it is. Oh, my God. And it's what's the worst part, and I didn't even realize this because I couldn't get through the entire trailer. One of the reviewers I watched, actually, I think it was the drunk, the critical drinker. I think that was him, but he made the point that through the entire trailer, sentient beings, things you're talking to, are just killed off, just randomly killed off, and it's played for laughs. I mean, what the fuck are they teaching the younger kids nowadays? I mean, it's bad enough my generation got fucking traumatized. We got scared to death by things like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and shit like that. Jason Goes to I don't know where. all this craziness. We had all these action movies where people were getting shot to shit. We had kids movies where the parents were always getting killed either on or off screen. It didn't matter. I mean, you had like Land Before Time. What the hell was that other one with Mufasa? He got crunched. Bambi, the first anti-hunting movie ever, which I still remember. They go, how does that make you feel? I go, hungry. Oh, we're having venison roast tonight. Boy, those freaking teachers were pissed. And you know what? Fuck them. Well, somebody else can fuck them because I wouldn't fuck them even if they were young. It just, no. But that Hopper thing just looks unbelievably woke. Like super duper holy flying fuckle knuckles woke. Okay, Guard continues here. A kid, the movie that was so much goddamn entertainment message and somehow making the MC the biggest douchebag in the entire movie. Yes, they were. Like, she gets no character development, literally likes and backstabs her way into getting what she wants throughout the entire movie. Haven't seen it, take your word for it. And yeah, it's just, that's all they showed is that it's all the reviewers said that it was just so bad. And this is the thing with a lot of these wokies is they never progress. There's no, what do they call it? The hero's journey. There's no development as a character. Even in my ship, the captain, he's got to constantly change because he's dealing with other shit. But he's also had a very, very long life. So he's done a lot of development already. So, I mean, think of how somebody changed from working their ass off to retirement. That's like the transition he's going through. But he's still responsible for others. So it is what it is. Anyways, Guardian's here saying, you mentioned my comment about Andromeda Ascendant. I didn't realize that it was a video game. I was referencing the TV show Andromeda by Gene Roddenberry. Oh, Andromeda and Andromeda Ascendant are two very different ones. Do yourself a favor, Guardian, and actually look that up. I believe it's Kara, K-A-R-A, or Kira, or something like that. K-I-R-A or something along that, and it should come up, and you'll see in the beginning she's being assembled. And that if you start with that, you're on the right track. And by the end, come on back, and you're just gonna be like, dude, that one kicked me in the nuts. Let's see. Guard saying, well, I'll have to play some Titanfall 2 while watching this. So if I stop talking for a bit, that's probably because I'm enjoying. Might even get a clip or two from it. Okay. I was never really a Titanfall fan myself, just because I'm too big of a Battletech fan. And in Battletech, you don't use a lot of AI because the AI will end up contradicting the neural helmet. And once you start having contradictory shit going through your head, it's already overloaded because of the neural helmet. And that's one of the main problems with the neural helmet. You wear it too long and you'll friggin' start losing it because it's cooking your brain. But if you have an AI in there, it's like quintupling how fast that's happening. But, people will still go in and they'll do it. Alan says, how about you are not the bird of paradise, so take this and go away. I don't know where that's from. Draven says, One Piece anime was too outrageous for me. It's maybe it was the drawing style. It didn't grab me. But that's just me. Everybody has their own style. Even if I talk bad about something, if you enjoy it, as long as it's not hurting anybody, go fucking enjoy it. Please do. You got to get some enjoyment in life. I mean, I'm hoping you're getting enjoyment from one, this live stream, and two, from the videos that I make. So yeah. And hopefully once everything's done, we're getting hopefully the wood here soon, so we can build the new office downstairs. Once I'm down there, I'm going to be working on my other channel too. And provided people leave me the hell alone so I can work. And then, I'll be doing that one. And that is very, 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 very much into the political and social shit. It is not escapism at all. It is right up in your face type shit. All right. Guard says, I heard the live action wasn't that bad so far. It's been pretty good, and I've only made it 3 episodes in, and they're completely aced. Okay. Doug is saying Hollywood is one big CF. I'd say it's one big BM. And yes, I know CF means clusterfuck, but I honestly just think it's a pile of shit. And pretty soon, a lot of these actors, they're going to be making so much money off dead actors. It's crazy, because all they're going to do is scan the face, and shape a body around it and call it good. And you're going to have, what's her name from the Avengers. She played Black Widow. She is in a lot of legal shit with the studios because she doesn't want her likeness being used on deepfakes. I'm like, sweetheart, guess what? They're already doing it. As far as they're concerned, their work is done. You can go home because they don't need you anymore. They've gotten exactly what they want out of you, and you can fuck right off. That's how they look at it. So that's why you don't want to be part of any of that. It's just bad. It's just all bad. Let's see. Douglas says, there is a sniper round that U.S. come up with that can travel up to 10 miles and is self-guided. Yeah, they also made a bunch of mortars that can, and artillery rounds that can do that too. They're not even missiles. They actually deploy fins and guide in. Pretty soon it's going to be like red versus blue, where you just basically throw a grenade and it fins and just drops in right where you want it. Speaking of which, I know you guys have been seeing, and I this isn't political, even though it is, shit going around the world, that all the stuff in the Eastern Europe area, I'll just put it at that, a lot of drones are being used. There's unconfirmed reports right now that humanoid robots, i.e. drones, are being used over there. I cannot confirm any of it now. That is just hearsay. Personally, I don't know if they've gotten to that point yet. It would not surprise me. Actually, would not surprise me at all. That being said, I could see them using something other than humanoid drones. I could see them deploying small tracked drones with, caterpillar tracks on them. Russia was working on one. It was honestly horrifying to look at. The only problem it had is it had very, very, very limited ammunition, 200 rounds at most. It was supposed to deploy a medium machine gun, something like a M240 or a M60 or the equivalent of such, and those things only have 100 round drums that go on the side. If you extend that to 200, the thing's going to get very, very heavy and very, very off balanced. However, it will work. But again, those full automatics burn through ammo exceptionally quick. Let's see. Where was I? Douglas also says, after it was announced, it was locked in top secret status. It was locked in. They say there's no such thing as classified status anymore. That's bullshit. I mean, that is. You know what? I should have got one that says bullshit. But bear in mind, they always try to hide everything as much as they possibly can. So I mean, it is what it is on that one. Let's see. Guard saying, I feel like one of the few things that's helped the One Piece live action flourish so much is the fact that the creator, Oda himself, is where, oh, yes, that will. That'd be like if they tried to get, like, say, flying bricks or ambush predators or any of those from me. If I would be like, no, I would be the one working on it, you piece of shit. So, yeah. I wouldn't want to destroy my work, because that's exactly what happened with The Witcher. That's what was going to happen with 40K. both of them were going to have Cavill in them. Cavill was in there for a while, but apparently he was pissing off the director and producer because Cavill's a huge Witcher fan. He's like, that's not how that would, this character can't do that. This character would do this. This character would not say that. He would say that. Basically, he's trying to rewrite it on the fly. But they didn't really like an actor who actually knew what the hell he was doing. I mean, when Halle Berry decided to go and bitch and moan about her character Storm, oh, she doesn't have a lot of lines. No fucking shit. She's an Omega level mutant who, if she has a bad day, can destroy an entire continent and not even realize she's doing it. So yeah. If she truly understood the character, she would knew that the character Storm not only is extreme claustrophobic, but also has to meditate at least for an hour or two every single day, like a goddamn Jedi, so she doesn't lose her fucking shit and accidentally kill a whole bunch of people. She is extremely dangerous. That's why she's very low key. Anyway, Guard continues with, he's probably the only reason why it isn't some woke garbage at this point. Abso-fucking-lutely. I will guarantee that, sure as I'm sitting in this seat. Erica says, so question. Why do the geodomes keep failing? Do we really need geodomes for planetary colonization? Okay, well, William jumped in here and said geodomes are good only in an atmosphere. You're not, how do I put this? When they tried to do it, I believe it was called like biosphere or something like that. It was some big thing they did back in the 80s. And they tried to basically create their own Earth inside a small area, where it was basically walking distance from the Sahara Desert to the mountains of Mongolia or something like that. It was just, they tried to do that. They neglected one simple factor, which was obvious for me as a kid. That's like, what happens when an invasive species from point A goes to point B, and another goes from point B to point C, and one from C to A, and then one back from A to D? What's going to go there? And the whole thing fucking collapsed. Every single one of these domes, these geodomes, if you're going to put it on another planet, has to be one simple biosphere. It cannot have multiple. It only can have one. It cannot add additional factors because everything will just fall the hell apart. It's just that simple. There's no extra to it. It's just there. There's War Sniper with Sin. How long do you think to need to wait till we can become 10 years younger? And this is where I said, not as long as people would think. Now, there's talk somewhere around 2030 that I've heard stuff all the way to 2036. The fact of the matter is, certain technology has to be released, just like you guys heard me talk about the 0-point generators over in Europe. Somebody's selling them as basically a plug-in generator instead of a gas generator. Okay, fine, great, awesome. Somebody's going to take that same energy and go, wait a minute, what if I dial this frequency just a little bit? What do I get? And then suddenly you're going to have people opening clinics where they're going to like regrow fingers or some such shit. You know, sitting there going, hey, look, I got my favorite finger back, you know, and all that shit. Well, that's the sort of thing that has to happen. It has to be forced into the limelight. In all honesty, I can guarantee we have the technology now. They're hiding the technology, they as in the super rich, because they want to hold on to it. They want to control it. They want to control everybody else underneath by giving you bad tech. And when we get the right stuff, that's when everybody starts to regenerate and rejuvenate. It's just that simple. And if you don't think so, just remember, we have not seen state of the art since 1946. And they were working on stuff that was far more amazing than a nuclear boom boom. Okay. A miniature sun is cool to look at. But you give me the goddamn transporter or teleporter and set up teleport pads on like the shoreline, or hell, in like 3 or 4 different states in the country, or like every other state plus, 2 or 3 in like Poland or Germany or something like that. And the price of logistics will drop so low, it is scary. But these guys don't care about the fact that it's not going to cost them money because they're not going to be getting as much money. You just got to remember, if they're paying $20 for the logistics and getting $30 back, they're getting a $10 profit. But if they're not spending anything on logistics, but only getting a 10-cent return, they're still getting a return, and they're not spending any money, but they're getting so much less than what they were getting before. They don't give a shit. They don't. They need to make as much. Now, I kind of botched that up, by the way. It's a little confusing, but you guys are smart enough to know exactly what I'm talking about. They want more money, even if that more money means it's worth even less than it was before because of inflation. They don't give a fuck. They're locked in with the root of all evil, which is the love of money. Everybody knows that. But there's not a fucking thing I can do about it. Right now, all that needs to happen is one of these really smart guys who understands physics, who's really young, not giving a shit, and saying, you know what? Let's look at this tech. Let's adjust it. Let's use the old and the new technology and kind of merge them together, and all that fun stuff. And what you'll get is just amazing. If even half of what I've heard is true, it will change the world. Now, I will say this, you got to be careful with certain things because it might crash or partially crash our economic system, but something else will take its place. It's just that simple. Something else will take its place. It happened before. It'll happen again. Got Skip here saying, on the moon and Mars, there needs to be underground due to the crud falling down on them. You mean God's boogers? Yeah, that's absolutely true. As far as the moon is concerned, because it is locked in and one side always faces us, you could actually build on top and not really worry too much. You have to worry about spikes in radiation, but you don't have to worry about debris. On the dark side of the moon, you are 100% correct. The only thing that will be open is some sort of docking bay for people to enter the hole and go deep inside where they can do their business.
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
So, yeah, you are 100% right on that one, Skip. Let's see. Sniper says, I hope it is before I leave this nutshell behind. You mean your meat suit? That's a bunch of us used to call it that. Oh, yeah, fucked up my meat suit, man. Hey, Doc, put my meat suit back together. I knew a few medics who hated it when we called it that, but we didn't care. It's like the man said in the dispatch. We laugh, we joke, we suppress our trauma. Sniper says, Sin, how are you doing with the oil getting more expensive? I don't burn that much oil. First off, I have propane for the hot water. So the slowing down of oil means absolutely dick to me there. My car gets 60 miles to the gallon highway and 41 in town. 55 highway and 41 in town. So I'm not really hurting that much. I know a lot of people are. And by the way, when it hits 150 a barrel, be afraid. Be very afraid. Because a lot of these the companies, the logistic companies, they will have two choices. They will either have to spike their cost, or they're just going to stop and wait for the price to drop. They won't have a choice. And that's when things get very, very, very sporting. And everyone's just going to be...
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Before they start screaming...
God fucking damn it!
When they can't get what they want. It's just the way it is. And I'm just going to look at him and say...
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Because they did. Yeah, it's honestly, I knew Iran's drones. I knew how numerous they were. And you can't just go in there with one strike and take them all down. Not going to happen. They got thousands of the fucking things. So, yeah. The kicker is, unless they launched like 700 or 800 at one of our battle groups, it's not getting through. Our guys are that good. Our equipment is that good. I mean, it's crazy. They actually will have guys on the deck with 50s lined up, just spraying into the air to get one of these damn things. And not to mention the Iranian drones are very, very slow. As compared to most, they hit like a fucking freight train, but they're very, very slow. All right, that's enough of that. So Guardian says, yeah, there's an old saying that the younger generation really needs to learn. Say what you mean, not mean what you say. Or so was it? Say what you mean, not what you say. I think he said the phrase is, if you don't say what you mean, you can never mean what you say. That's how that phrase goes. That's actually straight from Babylon 5. And
all hands to battle stations.
I say that as we got a $10 super chat coming in from Skip. As I write this down, he says, TC Energy, a Canada gas and oil company, we're working on pumping hydrogen as an alternative to fossil fuel. Now, here's the fun thing about hydrogen. You can actually siphon that right out of the air. And one of the things that just drives me crazy is a lot of people are bitching, oh, no, we're going to run out of power. We won't have anything be able to get our lithium batteries anymore because we got to truck that lithium all the way up here. Fuck the lithium. Guys, I can do the same thing with sulfur and copper. You don't need any of those extra rare earth minerals. You don't. The guy who created the lithium ion battery, and I remember good was in his name, and he even said, the lithium ion battery is good, but I can do a lot better. And he created the sodium ion battery. It was just leaps and bounds better, but they had already paid for the lithium mines, and they wanted to get every single solitary cent out of the lithium mines before they shut them down. That's just the way they operate. They look at it like it's a fucking gold mine, and they will keep going until the last tiny little speck comes out of the ground. Sorry, guys. I'm going down. Hold on, let me turn this down. I'm going down the rabbit hole. All right, and we're back with War Sniper saying, I don't mean the one in the background, Sin. I meant the black hair. Oh. This one. Yeah, baby she got some back. And be careful, you might end up with an android like this on one of your flights, but you won't have as much leg room as you're showing in there, that's for sure. You've seen what they do with the flights now? They got you standing up the whole time. Guardian says the ship in the Andromeda's TV series is named Andromeda Ascendant. Is it now? I just heard it called Andromeda. It has a female AI, and she gets a dedicated android body in the series. Okay, that seems like a common thing. Hell, I do it. But that stands to reason. If you have any type of learning computer, you have any type of even artificial consciousness, they are going to want to feel the same thing as everyone else. Now, they even did the same thing in the DC comics with Constantine, with the Magic House. The Magic House created Orchid, and it was a human representation of the magic of the house. And all I can say is the house picked a very, very, very nice human form, or human-ish form. And it actually pissed off a lot of, I don't know if you guys seen this. When they showed that, it pissed off a lot of parents who are like, oh my God, she's naked. She's got no parts. Literally, the front are they're round, they're bumpy, but there's nothing sticking out. There's no nipples on this woman. There's no slits. There's no nothing. She's perfectly smooth on the bottom. So yeah. All those people can freaking cry me a river, build a bridge, get over themselves, and drive the fuck on away from me. All right, Guard says, probably one of my favorite Warhammer stories, that's like side story, but still canon, because everything is canon now, is how a group of humans from the dark age of technology travel in time to the modern 40K universe and think, oh, we can just go down there and help our descendants, only to be murdered and claimed as heretics. The entire crew of 87 people murdered in front of their AI. So when a Terminator squad from the Deathwing, followed by several of the most smartest tech priests, were sent in, you can imagine their shock. Hold on, there.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
When the AI initially froze their armor like it was nothing. And speaking of the tech priests, you know what they're drinking, right? Promethean. And but there's actually if you're a 40K fan, look up Drunk on Prometheum. And it's actually a pretty funny song. It's like an old-timey like bard type thing. And it's just really funny. It's one of those ones where they got another one titled
Death by Snoo Snoo.
I kid you not, that's the name of the song, Death by Snoo Snoo. I dare you not to laugh. But anyways, yeah, that's the thing with actually doing time travel ones is, yeah. Oh, he continues here with, then the AI went on a rant about how it used to serve humans and how it was hoping to do it again with this new generation of people, but instead, her master and her lover was murdered by them instead. Pretty much claimed all of modern day humanity is nothing more but a bunch of savages that doesn't deserve to live, and asked them what drove them to this. And the tech priest straight up looked her in the eyes and said, your kind did. You turned against us in genocided trillions because you wanted to. You made us like this. Now you face the consequences. The AI tried to defend herself, saying she was different, even though during that entire interrogation, she cut life support to 3 of the Terminators just to make the tech priest talk. She literally did exactly what the other AIs did in what she was accused of doing. Oi, that's some deep shit right there. War Sniper says, or hold on. It says, Sin, Ukraine is already using tracked Wallies with 50 caliber machine guns on them that can peg BTRs and BMP. Well, anything's going to punch. Seriously, BTRs and BMPs, I've never seen as far as on the ground, I've never seen a beer can so poorly designed in my fucking life. Don't forget, guys, I was in Iraq. I saw what our 25 Mikes did to those things. It wasn't even fair. Oh, man, BMPs especially. They just shredded. It makes you feel bad for the guys inside because they're just riding along. And next thing you know, the whole place is just nothing but bullet holes and pink mist. He continues with the track drones can also save people. True, getting them into a metal coffin so FPVs can't reach the wounded soul. Well, yeah, I saw that they're eating the bodies. Yeah, that was kind of a thing years ago, saying, oh, it's gonna get the dead and wounded off by literally sliding it into a compartment. It looks like it's eating the bodies. It's kind of creepy to look at, but it works. You know what they say, if it's stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. Guard says, oh yeah, I've been seeing that. They also took 220 miles from Russia over the past week. And their leader continues to show that he's a piece of shit. He demanded $26 billion from the U.S. and a metric fuck ton of modern equipment from us just to show us how to take an Iran drones. And when I say modern equipment, I mean he wanted literally top of the line equipment, like nothing removed from it. That would stop Russia from reverse engineering. It literally, wow, that's just bad. Holy shit. Just wow. Just wow, just wow, just wow, just wow. It's just blowing my mind, guys. Warfare has changed. I saw it coming when we had our little Ravens. I saw it when we had the drones. Basically, with it, actually forget basically, it was an Xbox controller we were using to actually run the drones. But now they're automated, or not automated, autonomous. And I'm just thinking, hold on. No, damn it. I wanted to get the why. Now I just got the what. And it's just looking at it's like, what, why, what's the, they thought this was a good idea. How many video games do they make where somebody hacks the system and suddenly the guns are shooting at us? Now, granted, a few of those were probably the, what was it? Modern Warfare, I think it was, like Advanced Warfighter or whatever, where somebody hacked the drones. I had to laugh because a lot of those drones, they even said they still run on fuel. They run out of ammunition. If they were flying around like they would have been out of the sky in less than an hour, especially at that speed. You're just blown through fuel like crazy. It wouldn't work. All you literally have to do is hide for an hour or two and the damn things would crash and they're not a problem anymore. It's the ones on the ground you got to worry about, because if they are electric, you might have to wait a few more hours for them to drain their battery power. And if they don't have a machine to change the battery for them, they're just going to stop. It's not that. Okay, I digress. Erica says, I believe we have seen state-of-the-art technology. The elites and military-industrial complex just shut down the fair that made it possible. Yeah, the World's Fair. That's actually true. They had some really interesting stuff there. If you guys haven't seen the actual video of the world, it's all black and white video of the World's Fair. They had World's Fair all over the United States. And magically, within like 6 months, every single one of them was destroyed because they caught fire. Don't worry, they were temporary buildings made out of fucking stone. Nobody does that. Just so many people have lied to us. It hurts me so much. I mean, I thought Tartaria was crap. I'm coming to find out it was a thing. How long ago? I don't know, because nobody knows what the actual year is. The calendar's been changed so many damn times. Anyway, Guardian says, that's a slight misquote. Properly it goes, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, where all kinds isn't referring to all evil, but a wide range of it. Okay, yeah. Okay, you got me. You got me. I will bear that in mind. And right now, as I look into even more of these comments, as I scroll down here, Guard says, boy, do I love it when I find cheaters in War Thunder. Oh, you'll find cheaters there. They're always hacking the system. Actually, you want one that would piss you off, Guard. It's a good thing you don't play MechWarrior Online. Holy crap. I just had it out with one of these content creators. All he does, he gets his buddies together at the same time. They all get like the biggest, meanest mechs they can. They all sign in at the same time, so they guaranteed at least 4 or more of their guys on one of these maps. They literally have everything coordinated to the point where you can't just go and have fun anymore. It's like those times when somebody says, oh, we're going to go play basketball for fun. And then they're taking it so fucking seriously. You're like, where's the fun? And then you just walk up. Oh, what's the matter? You're bad. You mad you're getting beat? It's like, I came here to have fun, not to friggin' compete, you dipshit. I mean, yeah, is it good to win the game? Sure. But I'm not going to face 12 king crabs all with friggin' Ultra AC 20s, just waiting for us to walk in front of them one at a time. That's friggin' stupid. is something like that, I'd be calling in artillery and air support. Where bring back the long Tom artillery piece and drop it right in the middle of those fat fuckers. Let's see how much Beefy Boy likes it when he does that. You know, fuck that dude. I've watched him play several times. I honestly wish I could deny his entire channel. I don't ever want to see it on my feed ever again, because I go there to have fun. And every time I've been on I haven't been on in years actually, but every time I've been on previously, when I see a whole bunch of folks from the same clan on the other side, I literally get on because the push to talk system. I'm like, guys, we are so fucked. We are so fucked. And they're like, why? I said, look at this, it's all in one clan, which means they've already got this planned out. And they all got exactly the type of mechs they want. So all you really can do is hold back and wait for them to do something stupid. And then they get angry. Then they do something dumb. And then you might be able to get through. But that's what it's like dealing with these cheating assholes. Where now I'll say the guy who thinks he's full of beef, which I think he's full of shit. He's not really a cheater because it's legal to make a clan, but it just makes it not fun. Anyways, Guard continues like, yes, I love it when I find out this POS on the PC is running a sheet that makes it where he constantly regenerates his crew. Blew out the guy's turret crew 2 times in a row, watched as every one of the turret died both times, only for him to immediately get back the crew immediately. Yeah. That reminds me when I had to do the field exercise against the Rangers. I shot their sergeant major. He's not 50 meters away, and this is Miles gear. It's laser tag, basically. And I watched him rekey his Miles gear. And I'm screaming, Sergeant Major, I fucking shot you. Stop rekeying your Miles. He just flipped me off, rekeyed his Miles. Here comes the OC, Observer Controller, saying, hey, you can't do that. You're dead. You don't tell me what to do. I'm a Ranger. And I said, well, fuck you, too. Okay. And I digress. Guard says, I saw the oil was dropping in price, though, mostly to do with the fact that we've almost completely secured the Iranian Canal, the Strait of Hormuz you're talking about, that all the other countries said that they could work without. All right. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret, at least here in the U.S. I don't know about other countries, but I'm pretty sure it's there too. You see when you go by where the refineries are and you see all those tankers out there, just anchored out, just scattered out there. They all got their little spot where they can stop. Every single one of those tankers is fully fucking loaded. I know this as fact. They're waiting for the price of oil to go up and then they offload it. Because if you got 3 or 4 million gallons of oil, going up even 1 penny per gallon makes a big difference. Thinking about how much money you're going to get, it goes up $1 a barrel at that point. That's a lot of fucking money, people. We are all getting fucking played. That's why I'd like to get off petroleum, honestly. It would change our entire world, but we need to get the fuck off petroleum. Because it's all a big fucking shell game. That's what I was saying about the show Landman. He wasn't... He delivered the line great, but he was wrong about the fact that there's other stuff. And the thing is, other stuff got buried, and I know it for a fact. Anyways, Guardian says, Andromeda didn't initially see the point of the modified android that was made for her at first, of course, until they saw something else. But as the series went on, she relied on it more and more. I'm sure she did. I'm sure she wanted to make it anatomically correct as well. Guard says, we rescued it, and for some reason, all of our allies are just saying, oh, we didn't need it anymore. Like, you dumbass. You literally harped on us for a week. About it. This is what I'm talking about. It was the oil tankers are holding on to it. Now that the price went up, they're dumping it. Because that's the smart thing to do for their business. It's like they said in Pirates of the Caribbean. It's just good business. But the thing is, it plays everybody else. But you know what? That's business. Just like going to McDonald's or anything like that. They're giving you a burger about the size of a freaking quarter. And I don't mean quarter pounder. I mean a little quarter and saying, hey, give us $10 for this quarter size burger. Guard continues with, but I guess because we simply asked them if they just give us mine, sweepers, and get up off their fucking asses and do something for once now. All of a sudden, they can live without it. Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised how fast those minesweepers can work if they're not under fire. I mean, these guys are good. These sailors really know their shit. I mean, it is freakish how fast they'll do this. I mean, back in the day, if they wanted to clear something like the Strait of Hormuz, say in like World War I, probably take them about 2 weeks. Here, they can clean it up in about 2 days, if that. I mean, they are just really fucking good. Let's see. Guard says the only ones who didn't was France, and that's because France sent 10 cruisers and a carrier to help us secure it. Everyone else pretty much groaned, bitched, and all this other stuff about it. Yep, that's true. The only other folks that helped us was Britain. Oh, that got stuck. Anyways, War Sniper says, I'm going to be happy when we're able to become regenerators or rejuvenators. True, the tech is to become 10 years younger, and only after 10 years having to re-young again and then get the time and get your own spaceships. Now, see, that's the thing. And this is one of the things I actually put in with, my ship, was the fact that once everybody is to the point where time doesn't matter anymore, a lot of things are going to change. A lot of folks who are doing retirement still, there won't be a retirement because retirement's supposed to have an end. And if there is no end, then they're not going to let you retire. Like the coal miners union, they'll do like everybody else to say, you were in there for 20 years, we'll give you 20 years of retirement, and that's it. That's the way it's most likely going to go. It's either they're 20 or 30 years, however they're going to do this. And by the way, we can still use coal for a lot of different things. So that business isn't going anywhere. Even if we do get something where we don't have to burn it for energy, coal can be used for a lot of different other shit. It's actually just as easy to, let me phrase it. It's almost as ubiquitous as hemp. I mean, you can use hemp for a lot of stuff I didn't even know about. And it's just crazy. But coal, yeah, is very, very useful. But yeah, when I become a regenerator, rejuvenator, I'll tell you what, I'll finally be able to still run those sub 13-minute 2 miles. However, I wonder if I'll be able to get it to the point where I'll be able to stretch again. My muscles are so tight right now, I can barely do 90 degrees. It's terrible. Sniper continues, I want a spaceship of myself. You want a spaceship built like yourself? He wants a spaceship of himself. Isn't that a little, I don't know, narcissistic to have, your body floating there in space? Are you going to have the hands up, flipping everybody off? What's going on? Is that going to be your guns? I just sound like Peter Griffin. Or however it's supposed to go. Guards up here says, last little bit of news I'm talking about, but Canada is threatening to go to war against us if we were to go after an Iranian judge they just took in. He's sentenced to be executed 386 people this year alone during a protest in January, February. Yeah, that I heard something. I don't know enough to comment on that. I really don't. Erica says the last fair was in the 60s or something. That wasn't the World's Fair that I'm talking about, but yes, there was what they called the World's Fair. It was in Queens, if I remember correctly. But it was not even close to the same. The original World Fair had all its lights were free electricity. It had moving sidewalks. It had some of the most interesting technology and amazing architecture I've ever seen on video. And it was just burned and destroyed. Most of it, almost all of it was burned and destroyed. Why? Because they didn't want anybody else to know what was going on or use that technology, because heaven forbid people actually know what in the fuck is going on. Ugh, pricks, I swear. It makes me drink. Let me get the bottle over there. Anyways, where was I here? Guard says, you're talking about Black Ops 2 when Menendez hacked the entire U.S. drone fleet and somehow kept it flying for 48 hours straight. Actually, most drones, you'd be amazed. The Predator drone can fly for several days without needing to refuel. Because it's so high up and it's basically just a wing. There's no resistance. Now, certain ones do the entire top of it is one big solar panel, and it's the good solar panels. It's like a 950. It's not some cheap ass 100. I mean, these things are really good, which means it would stay up for even longer. It can't stay up indefinitely, but it can stay up a hell of a lot longer than people think. The only thing is, those ones are there's zero countermeasures on that thing. If it gets shot at, it can just stand there and go, okay, I'm fucked. He continues with, and then another one I remember is Infinite Warfare, but that wasn't really drone. It was more like they hacked the robots that were helping them and the planetary defense systems. Is that the one with the big ass cannons? I think I saw the cinematics of that. That looked pretty good. Although if you're firing a railgun that big, no buildings around it are going to be standing. The shockwave coming off that son of a bitch is going to be insane. Because it was firing at like Mach 17, Mach 18, so it could reach the atmosphere. Which, by the way, you guys helped me out on that. It had to be over Mach 16 to actually break the atmosphere and actually strike something. So, and then I looked it up and I was like, damn it, how'd I miss that? Yeah, it was a good cinematic, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that one, it's interesting to watch. Lena's here saying, I disagree. If you want a modern life, you need petroleum. It's not just fuel. All right. Are we going to need some sort of petroleum type of product? Yes. Are we going to need crude oil? Once we have an alternative for actual electricity? No. And the reason I say that, Leonid, and by the way, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying this is how I see it. Right now, in this country, and I'm just talking the U.S., I'm not talking anywhere else. So this can be different per region. So don't kill me. In the U.S., we have more coal in the islands of Pennsylvania and Kentucky, West Virginia, and places like that. I don't think we can run out of it. The hill that my dad grew up on in Pennsylvania, and it's a fucking mountain. If you dig down about 30 feet, it is that entire mountain on the inside is nothing but a big pile of coal, and it goes down about a quarter mile down into the surface. Even if you strip mined it and just turned it into different type of fluids, different lubrications and things like that, we would have enough of that stuff to keep going. We wouldn't need, wow, what the fuck? We would not need actual crude oil. We would have enough of our own. That being said, crude oil is a lot easier to work with in that sense. Hold on. About to say the magic word, but it's, if you're talking actual required, then I disagree, at least over here, specifically in the United States. However, as we do have coal burning power plants and things like that, and the fact that so many things, hell, this goddamn koozie is made out of a petroleum product, but the things, they can make the same thing out of hemp and it would feel pretty much the same. People think hemp is always coarse. It's not. It has to do with the processing. But anyway, as far as other areas of the world, Lena, you're right. They would still need some sort of oil. They just wouldn't need nearly as much of it. Could you imagine how many people would buy electric vehicles if you just had to replace the batteries and put one or two of these little bitty, they're only about this big, 0-point generators in, and you just removed like 800 pounds off the car or the Cybertruck or whatever it might be, and this thing will run for fucking ever without stopping? I mean, yeah, parts are going to wear out and stuff like that, but still, the amount that you would need from petroleum is jack. Anyway, that's me down the rabbit hole. I'm climbing out of the rabbit hole, guys. I'm sorry, I'm stuck down the rabbit hole. You guys keep, no matter how many times I try to get out, you guys keep pulling me back down. All right. I missed this from Guard. He says, but even that after a few hours of nonstop combat, the robots ran out of ammo, ran out of power, so they did the orbital guns, at least the ones that weren't destroyed or taken back. Yep. And that's the problem with the drone systems, is they do not have the ability. They're not the Terminator. They don't have 2 nuclear power plants. Then yes, the hydrogen fuel cells, even though actual hydrogen fuel cells won't do what they showed, but the type of cells they had are basically small nuclear reactors. And at that size, when he said lasts 120 years, I believe that. Had such a tiny little fuel rod in there. War Snubber says, I love the butt of the blonde with the Y-Sart. She also has a nice rack. Yeah, well, when the guy drew her, he apparently realized that she needed muscles on her back to carry that sucker, or else she's going to be in a lot of pain. You notice he actually has a very, very defined back on her. Let's see. Guard continues here. He says, I feel like probably the most realistic AI-based vehicle in Black Ops 2 or 2 vehicles is the ARGs and the Claws unit. Both run on batteries. Both have 72-hour lifespans. Okay. Although the ARG is kind of less realistic because somehow, for it being only up to your waist height, it carries a few 150 caliber rounds and like 15 missiles, forearm size. Okay, that's actually half the size of a hydro rocket. If you've seen a Laws rocket, shoulder-fired rocket launcher, that's the size that they use. The only difference of what you're talking about, if they're missiles, it's guided. That's the only difference, really. Yeah, it's literally, they had the components, they put it inside one of these. And by the way, I've held those things. They don't weigh fucking nothing, man. They're not even a pound that I remember. I mean, there was nothing to them. Well, I shouldn't say there's nothing to one end was kind of heavy. I'll give it that. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to fire one. I was kind of pissed about that. Now, as far as a few 150 caliber rounds, yeah, that's kind of heavy. That being said, I don't know if you've seen the drone they had for a while. It's meant for special forces or somebody like the Rangers, because they're not actually special forces. I think it was called the Donkey or something like that. It had no head or nothing. It 4-leg thing is supposed to follow everybody and carry a lot of weight. You'd be surprised. These drones can carry a lot of weight. The carbon fiber they're made out of really has a lot of strength to it. So is that beyond the realm of realistic? No. If the 15 missiles are all in their own tubes, it's not realistic because those tubes are fairly large. Unless they upgrade them to the new type, which are pretty small, but they're still about the size of 40 millimeter grenade launcher. But yeah, I don't see Guard where that would be less real. I would have to see a picture to know what you're talking about. Let's see. Guard says the Claw, on the other hand, understandably, that thing is almost the size of a car, and literally quarter of it has a counterweight is its ammunition, which is a big ass Gatling gun. Now, was it a Gatling gun or a Vulcan? By the way, those two different, very, very distinctly two different things. So, I used to make the same mistake all the time. Let's see. Guardian says, I learned how to use a handheld minesweeper while part of RSOP. Even just going through the rough motions for unit certification was time consuming. Yep. And we had to do it in full mop gear. Oh, hell. Oh, man. By the way, for those of you who don't know, he didn't spell mop the right way. There's 2 P's on it. And I'm sure autocorrect got it. Mission-orientated protective posture. In other words, your chemical gear. Okay, that shit is very uncomfortable, very heavy, and excruciatingly hot. It is just terrible. And when it comes to minesweeping, yes, I've actually done that. I was infantry. We were down there with the fucking probes, probing at the ground, and we literally had to clear this area 100 meters across, 100 meters in front of us, and there was fake mines down in there somewhere, but they'd set them up there like a week prior, and it had rained, so we didn't know where they were. So we're going, and you got to go, and literally you're only sticking the probe in maybe 2 inches, so you're only going forward 2 inches at a time, and you're basically sniper crawling up this son of a bitch. It took us all fucking day. Now, we were in mop gear. We were not. And it was the only problem was a bright sunny day. So it was really, really hot, but still, I can't eat. Wow. Damn. The only thing I worry about with the handheld minesweepers is if you get the older mines, that might set them off, especially the old tank mines, because they're magnetic. So they might read the signal as magnetic and just go off. So, yeah. I'd rather just get the goddamn chain flail on the front of a tank and just have it go crazy, or that little scoop on the front that just clears everything in one go. You could drive at 50 miles an hour. It'll clear it all out. Okay, Sniper says, I want to be able to start building my Titan destroyer for my own ship. Sure, I need like a logistic ship so I can already refine or make parts out of them while in the asteroid field. Letting drones mine and transport it in the ship refinery and fabricators, and then other drones can build the components of the Titan destroyer. Something the size of a Titan class ship, dude, you're talking, even if you just set them up with the plans and told like 300 of these things to go nuts, it would take well over a decade, probably 2 decades to build a Titan. That's a lot of, and nothing else, that's a lot of mass. That is a shit ton of mass. Think of it this way, and people have done the calculations. For someone to build the Death Star, which is considered a Titan-class warship, by the way, because it does move, it does have guns, it is meant to destroy. It is not meant as a battle station, even though they call it that. It is not a battle station, it is a Titan-class warship. For them to do that, they would have had to strip clean, at minimum, 2 entire solar systems the size of ours, just to have enough mass to create that one ship. Because when everything gets refined, it gets compressed, which means for every, say, 1,000 pounds you get of ore, you might get 100 pounds of metal, or the right metal you need. So again, that's going to take a long, long time. I hope you got a stasis pod to sit there, or you're going to be one bored motherfucker just waiting for it to be done. Let's see. Leonid's here says, all right, I would not. People are still using coal, and I want to get rid of it. It would be better for the environment. Now, I don't fully agree with that. Certain coal is, in fact, dirty, yes. And you wouldn't want to breathe the smoke directly out there. But coal in and of itself, even the coal smoke, after about a mile and a half, is not all that dangerous. again, my dad grew up in a coal mining town. I know what this stuff can do. The reason why is because the heaviest particles, the ones that are going to hurt you, by the time they leave the stack, heat is the only thing keeping them in the air. Once they cool, they drop. Which is why everybody who works in the coal mining area has a mask on. And you got a new mask every day, sometimes a new mask every couple hours. And the thing is, nowadays, the new way they run the coal, and a lot of people don't know this, this is why they call it clean coal, is when they're burning the coal, what you don't see coming out of the stack is the fact that there's another area where they're actually spraying water in there so that, again, the particulates get very, very heavy and they cool down. So the moment they leave the stack, they drop. If there's any particulates anywhere. Because if the particulates get too heavy, it won't matter if they're warm. They just fall back down. They go back down in the furnace. They burn up into smaller or pretty much nothing. That's the whole. A lot of people don't realize that the coal burning power plants are a hell of a lot cleaner than they used to be. And I actually, when I was in college, I studied this stuff. It was part of my environmental science class because I wanted to understand the engineering. I really did. Unfortunately, that class was a bad bar joke, but I did learn some things. Excuse me. And by the way, the only problem with coal, that burning coal, is the amount of coal dust remaining when you're done. It's not a very good fertilizer. It is so high in like nitrogen, stuff like that. If you put it on any plants, even nitrogen loving plants, it would burn them. So you would have to find something else for that. That I will freely admit that the coal dust left over is just, it piles up and it's very difficult to learn what to do with them. Now, I do know one thing they can do with it is they can actually compress it into artificial diamonds. That being said, how many diamond tip drill bits are you going to buy? How many diamond tip saw blades are you going to buy? Not that many, especially since they last so long. Let's see. Lean here. I think video games have taught me that you can drop a bomb on the helicopter and fire Hydra 70 against anti-air. Yeah, no. The Hydra rockets, actually, you can get ones that are not rockets anymore. If they're guided, they're missiles. And if they are guided missiles, most Hydras are laser designated. So you actually have to keep the laser on somebody. So if you're looking at like a fast mover, like say an F-16, and they dive down, it's actually a lot harder for that. And the worst one, actually, believe it or not, is a helicopter, because as soon as they turn and that laser hits the prop or hits the wing as it spins, it goes nuts. You got to keep it on the body. But if they're tilted down, the laser just freaks out. It doesn't know what to do. It's still it'll get close, but chances of a miss are a lot higher. But as soon as they level off or they turn or whatever, it locks on in a second. So Doug is saying, during IED training, oh, yeah, that was fun. In Little Rock, Arkansas, we had to use Full Moon for part of a 20-mile full gear forced march. Not all of it, but 3 miles was enough to get me in heat injury. Oh, shit. I'm starting to wonder how bad. I'm hoping you didn't actually heat stroke out, man. That would have been bad. A little bit of heat exhaustion is fairly common. And for those that don't know, let me just school you just a little bit. There are levels of heat injury, as in your body is overheating. There is heat exhaustion, where you are just extremely tired because your body is desperate to cool down. There's heat cramps, which gives you the same problems, but it hurts. Hence the cramps part. And then heat stroke, when your body is actually burned through all its water and is actually stopped sweating, is trying to yank all that water towards the core to keep them operating, to keep your brain alive. Once that happens, you better be heading for some ice or something, or somewhere cool, because you are in trouble, because again, it's called heat stroke for a reason. And unfortunately, I was in Iraq once, and I was moving around so much so fast, they thought I had heat stroke. I didn't. I was just running around so much that my body just kind of gave out on me for a second. My legs just went out. I fell over, and they're dragging me in to see Doc. They're like, he's not even sweating. I'm like, no, but I'm not in any pain, and I can see fine. Just get me back on my feet. And here's Doc like constantly pushing me down, like, stay here, stay here. Give me a couple IVs and a big jug of water. So, yeah. Lena says, you can make the Death Star smaller and more compact. Yes, but Palpatine wanted to show the universe he had big balls. He called himself Big Balls. Whatever. He's got a thing about balls, I guess. Whatever. And, it stands to reason that he would like balls. I mean, it's the same thing I keep talking to you guys about with the, every single one of the Sith. They always have that double-ended friggin' laser dildo because only two there are. No more, no less, which is why it's double-ended. Anyways. And as I look at the numbers, I think...
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep liking, assholes. And speaking of which, I'd appreciate you guys did. Douglas says, heat exhaustion through, though close to stroke because I passed out when I crossed the finish line. They dumped a cooler of water on me and shipped me to the aid station. Yeah, they'll do that. That's old school. Now they actually have cooling blankets. Like, I'm not even kidding. Ice sheets. It's no joke. Sheets that they have in ice water. And we did this with a couple people. We immediately stripped them down and we just, let's see, one goes right in your crotch, one goes under here, one goes under here, one goes around your neck. You're laying on one, which is going to be wrapped on you. And yeah, the first thing they do, boots off, socks off, pants off. We'll get the shirt later, but you got to get the gear too. Which honestly kind of freaked us out. And here's one that actually did worry me. I was a drill sergeant, and we were going to do our nighttime crawl. This is where they shoot the bullets over your head and everything's going off. I forget the name of the range off the top of my head. Anyways, we're walking up to it, and they got to go to the bleachers. We are not 30 meters from the bleachers. And this one little female, she was having a lot of problems with the walk, but she was trying. God help her. And as she got towards the end, I think mentally she told herself that she was done, but her body had to keep going. And I'm sitting there, and I looked at her battle buddy who's almost holding her up. It's like, is she okay? She'll make it. And all of a sudden she started doing this wheeze. I've heard this wheeze before. And honestly, I freaked the fuck out as I reached over, I grabbed her. I was like, give me your weapon, give me your weapon, give me your weapon. She gave the weapon. And by the time I didn't even get the sling off her arm, down she went. And I'm just like, fuck. And I'm screaming over. I'm like, hey, give me some help. And all of a sudden they're like, you need ice sheets? I'm like, yeah, ice sheets now. And she's trying to say, no, don't need ice sheets, because she knows we're about to take all her stuff off and she's going to be in her britches wrapped up in ice. We don't care. We'll strip everything off you and get you naked into that shit. We do not give a fuck because it is dangerous. It is extremely dangerous. Like Douglas says, he said he was, I don't know how you went straight from heat exhaustion to stroke, but it can happen. It's not something to fuck around with, people. It can kill you. And if it doesn't kill you, it turns you into a fucking vegetable. And anyway, one of the things I had, as soon as I yelled ice sheets, like 3 other drills came over, and a lot of them, they have their gear clipped in the back. Yes, kind of like a bra. And they're like, put her on the back. I'm like, I'm reaching for it, and they're pushing against me. I'm like, hold on, push her up. No, put her down, push her. Hold on, I'm getting her gear. Got it. And pulled it off real quick, and then everything went fine after that. And yeah. But I still freaked out because I don't want to see one of my trainees freaking die. That'd be bad. Guardian says, my dad used to drink so much coffee that his fellow soldiers used to joke that if he got dehydrated, they would just need to hook up an IV of coffee and he would be fine. Well, yeah. Oddly enough, the coffee may not hydrate you, but eating or drinking hot coffee during the summer months is the same reason why you want to eat something spicy. It makes you sweat, and the evaporation of the sweat is going to cool you off. It's just, that's the way it is. It's all it is. Lena says, it was in Legends, and there were several versions of Death Stars, and the engineers made them smaller. So Palpatine's balls got smaller? Interesting. Maybe that happens with age. Wouldn't know about that. Come on, you're that's low-hanging fruit, no pun intended. So anyways, just a heads up, just a reminder, guys, if you could make sure you are still subscribed. I've been having a lot of issues on the channel lately. It's crazy. Oop, wrong button. And just so you know, like I said, guys, my ship was written, but it was written way too late. I'm gonna do the audio first thing in the morning, right after breakfast. So I can, hopefully it'll come out sometime around maybe 9-10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard. But yeah. Yeah, Lena, I like that about the Death Stars. Okay, but they weren't just balls. Oh, so they were balls that squirted?
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
I mean, yeah, they shot out so far and so fast that even the protection from the Mon Calamari ship was not strong enough to stop it from shooting right through. Seriously, guys, the jokes write themselves, and I'm not even good at telling these jokes. Usually I have to set up a joke before it works. You guys, you're setting them up, and I'm knocking them right out of the park here. So, anyways, let's watch one more video. What's a random one we're going to watch here? Say, fuck it. Guard, I still say you got it right in the seam there. You literally put it right in his crack, and it blew everything up. That sure as hell what it looked like to me. Didn't look like a muzzle rack. Didn't look like you hit the barrel. Doesn't look like anything. So anyway, guys, I'm wondering if I can do this. I got the video I had before that was supposed to be the intro, but it turned out to be too long, giggity. And I'm going to see if I can speed this up, because there's one of these videos that I, as I was putting it together, even I was laughing. So I'm going to try it. Bear with me.
Online. Sensors online.
Okay, I don't think it's working. Come on, you bastard. Oh, man. Ah, fuck. Okay. Okay, I was trying to get that to work. It was that one where you see the tank coming and did, you shall not pass. And it took me forever to get the timing right, but it was just funny. And I see somebody calling.
All hands to battle stations.
As he says, Sin, I was told by my friends that came back from Nam that Army vehicles have speed governors. Is that true? Some of them did. The actual governor system hasn't been in a lot of vehicles in a long time. The last I heard of any governor being in any vehicle was in the 1980s. Now, if there's something going on inside the computers now, I'm not aware of it. I do know that only certain vehicles will be outfitted with a speed governor. And those are things like armored vehicles or armored trucks, I mean. But that's a requirement by the state. That's not a standard for just a regular civilian vehicle. So if you're going to buy any type of car, truck, van, whatever the hell, I've, again, not since the 1980s have I heard of one in there. Only certain ones have them. I believe school buses have them. Then again, I just saw school bus top out today somewhere around 60 plus miles an hour. So that might not be there anymore anyway. The only one I know for a fact is armored cars. For reasons, just reasons. Let's see. Douglas, and by the way, thank you, Skip. Appreciate it. And by the way, guys, if you don't like the sound effect you got, you just got to let me know, and I will change it. When I have time, I got to add some more. I mean, this Stream Deck only has so many buttons. I didn't think I'd fill in all the buttons, and now I'm wishing I had more buttons. But it is what it is, and hopefully the, the
soundboard
will actually
work because I need it to work.
And get some extra voices.
Aside from these, these work, but they're not as good as I need them.
Okay, Douglas says, the reason I said I was close to heat stroke was the instructors told me that I passed out completely and the sweating was slowing down. Okay, you hadn't quite reached there yet. You were in late stage heat exhaustion, yes, but you hadn't. Yeah, you were close. You were close, but you weren't totally there yet. Heat stroke only happens officially when you stop sweating. So yeah. All right, guys. We are at the bottom, and I don't have any more videos. I'm going to have to adjust this one so I can get that one video up there, because I don't think you get, excuse me. I don't think you guys want this one that's, 7 minutes long? Ah, crap. It's not even working anymore. Ah, fuck it. Anyway, just for one little clip. So anyways, we have our supporters here. We got Steve, Erica, Guardian, Demon, and Skip. Thank you guys for your patronage tonight. Very much appreciated. You guys, where's that button? Thank you very much. I very, very, very much appreciate it. I actually appreciate everybody showing up here. I really do. I mean, if you guys didn't show up, I wouldn't be doing this. And Wednesdays will be very boring for me. Maybe. Anyways, on that note, I need something that says safety brief, but I don't have one. So, while I do the safety brief, how about, this juicy girl you guys like so much? I'll leave her on the stage for now. And like I said, guys, if you drive, you don't drink. If you drink, you don't drive. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to beat their ass. I will gladly go to court with you and explain to the police why you beat your friend into the ground instead of letting him wrap himself around a telephone pole and probably hurt someone else. If your little soldier's going into the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets wet in the bush, if you know what I'm talking about. And you guys also be careful on the roads. There's still very, very interesting weather going on. You don't know when it's going to suddenly get cold. And a lot of people, for some reason, as soon as they think there's no ice, they tend to drive like fucking maniacs. Let's not go there. If you decide to drink the malt beverages or something to that effect, know your limits, guys. Just everybody here is smart enough to know your limits. I trust you. All right, that's the end for me. And before I go, you know what? I really got to get an outro video. That's what it is. Anyway, I will catch you guys next time, next week, right here. Same Syntax time, same Syntax channel. Until then, take care, everybody. This is your host, punching out.